First of all, just tell me a little bit about your guys' last meets, Chico and Turlock. Tell me a little bit how things went.
Very well. Marissa McKay started us off, and Daniel LaBelle with the multis, and she had a great weekend over at in Chico. She bettered her mark in the heptathlon. Still number 3 though, am I right? We're still number 3 on the all-time list, I believe. You beat Sarah Beasley?
No, I don't know.
I think we're still number 3. Yeah, but she bettered her mark and got a good Pro Bowl mark too. So not to discount your performance at all, but in the midst of doing that, she got the high jump school record. So it's like just amazing. Good start, and then we transferred over to Friday, Saturday competition for CSU Stanislaus at the Kim Dice meet, and took our whole team down there and did very well. Just had a great meet for Elizabeth Tejedas as well as Ariel Oliver, and just had some really good events happen, and the whole team did pretty good.
Fantastic. Looking forward to this weekend, to the Chico Invitational. Just tell me a little bit about your thoughts, what you're hoping to see out of the team, and yeah.
Just kind of 2 parts. It's Chico's going to be the conference championships will be held in Chico this year, so we tend to go to Wildcat and also go to their second invite in April. So it just gives us more practice on where we're going to be competing for the conference championships. And so got to get the new athletes involved with that facility, get them used to where to eat and where we'll be staying in for the hotel, just to kind of get our routine down. But I think more importantly, we're looking to some more good weather. Stanislaus was great. It was in the 60s. It was sunny. So this weekend should be about the same, maybe partly cloudy. Just hopefully there's no rain, and we can go out there and mark really well. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, I'm just excited. All the coaches are excited. I think as I reflect back over last weekend, you know, you have Elizabeth Tejedas, who just got the CC2A Athlete of the Week with her performances last week in the 400 and 200, won both her events respectfully. Gets a deep Provo in the 400 with a 54.8, I believe. And then you piggyback that with Ariel Oliver getting the school record in the shot put. And it's just amazing. It's just, it's what every coach wants to look forward to. And then Marissa started us off with the school record in the high jump on day 1 for her HEP in Chico last week. So that's why I'm here, just to kind of brag about them and let the coaches know and everybody know that we're proud of them. And it's just, like I tell my athletes, it's like you only have this short window of time to make your mark, and it's kind of neat seeing some of the recruits that we've had 4 or 5 years ago now are seniors, and they're getting school records, and they're trying to make their place in HSU history, and I'm proud to be a part of that as a head coach. And I couldn't do without my coaches. My assistant coaches was Sarah Ingram, BJ Wilcom, and also Katrina Bindell. We couldn't do it without the other coaches. There's just too many events going on for one person to manage all that, and a lot of the success is because of my coaches.
You kind of already touched on this, but we were talking at the Green and Gold just about what you were what you wanted to see out of the team and what you were expecting to see. And tell me a little bit just about, now that we're a couple weeks in, how those expectations have been met, and what really, you've already touched on what has you excited, but obviously things off to a pretty good start for you guys.
Yeah, I guess to kind of look back at things is that you always want to try to get some good marks early, even qualifying marks to go to nationals if you're at that level. So it takes a little pressure off, because now you can really go out there and compete because you got nothing to lose. And you got to take advantage of this good weather, because who knows what's to come here in the second half of March and into April at some of these bigger meets. Secondly is that when you do mark relatively well in these early meets, it gets you into these big meets. So we can get some kids into Stanford, and we might take a few to Texas, just to compete with some really good programs, and they deserve to be there, But it takes a little pressure off of everybody, knowing what you've done in the fall and the winter has paid off. And it's like, and they deserve it. They've been working really hard. The whole team's been working really hard. So at this point, we're going to keep going with our schedule. We're going to keep everybody healthy, because that's part of the job. Is that you got to make sure they stay healthy so that they're going to be there at the end for the conference and the national championship. So that's the priority. And obviously making sure their grades stay good as well, so we can keep on rolling. But we're, so far so good. No complaints. We're into week 8 of this semester. We're halfway through. Just the beginning of our track team, our track schedule. So I'm just real. So far so good. Cross your fingers.
Great. I think that's all I've got.
Coach, obviously, I don't know that you could have asked for a better start to the season, but how excited are you the fact that, you have so many athletes early on in the season doing so well, performing at a high level, and they're only going to go up from here. Like, how excited are you for the rest of the season with the start that the athletes have had?
It makes practice a lot easier. It just does when they're doing well. And yeah, we're all very excited. There's new energy. I mean, you get home late Saturday night, early Sunday morning from your bus ride, and you wake up Sunday morning and you're already doing scheduling and your practices for the next week, knowing that you get to leave for Chico on Friday at noon. And so, but I think not only the coaches, but I think the athletes look forward to it. And whenever you're having a good run, it just makes you that much more hungrier for the next one. And if you don't, then hey, it's our job as coaches to get them ready for the next one, and then they'll kind of get on the bus and just perform well like everybody else's. But I think so far so good. Again, we got to stay even, keep our balance relative to where we're at, and don't be satisfied with where we're at. There's a lot of season left, obviously. There's a whole season in front of us, but I don't think we make our limits, our goals should not just be our limits. We need to go above and beyond that. And I don't mean to get philosophical here, but I just think that you need to look beyond where you're at, because that's how you reach different levels at the national level or the conference level. We're in a very good conference, and Chico and UC San Diego and Pomona are very good teams. They're very deep. But it's just kind of neat that our kids are right there with them, and they deserve to be there. They've been working hard for 4 to 5 years with our seniors, and they deserve to be there. The women's team is a perfect example of this process of recruitment that happens, and you just keep developing 1 year at a time, and finally, you have this phenomenal team that's worked so hard for. Not finally, I don't mean that in a derogatory sense, but I just mean that, hey, everything worked up to this point is where they're at, and all the other classmen are just looking up to them, and they're getting that much more confident as well. So I didn't mean to overspeak with your question, but that's kind of where we're at right now.
Did it, especially competing at Cal State's Stanislaus, one of the teams in the CCA, did it really open your eyes to the fact that you did come in and say you had really high expectations on the women's side when it came to conference? Did it kind of, ease you a little bit to say, we're up here, we had some of the top marks, and, kind of going against that CCA competition? Can you just speak about that?
Yeah, it was, because you can evaluate and almost benchmark yourself against the other programs that you're competing against. Not only was Stanislaus there, but you have San Francisco State on the women's side, and you had Cal State East Bay there as well. So, of course, you're looking at the finishes. You want to see where you stand. And this weekend will be another good test when we face Chico. I mean, Chico is they've won conference championships multiple years in a row. So this is going to be a really good benchmark for us to see where we stand. So just depends on where we put our athletes relative to the certain events we're doing, because it might be off weeks for some people. Maybe some of the athletes won't be doing their specialty events relative to what they'll be doing at conference. That's okay, because we're on a different cycle, but you can still sit back and compare where you're going to be against the previous year's competition or conference champion with Chico. So they're always just, they got a great program there, and it's just kind of be nice to see how we stack up. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a little competition.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.